This is how to beat super heavy samurais without side decking. Alright, so super heavy samurais, obviously they fight from the defense, so they be in defense mode when they battle. Their defense are higher than their attacks, so that's part of their strength, but also part of their weakness, because if you switch them to attack mode, it's easier to beat them than if you left them in defense mode, obviously, right? They don't use spells, they don't use traps, so you don't have to worry about that as much. So you just gotta focus on using effects and abilities that deal with monsters, because this is a monster heavy deck. They do use some other monsters like spells, like traps, like hand traps and stuff like that, but typically it's just monsters, so anything that works against monsters will work against them, obviously. They have some pretty good synchros, so doing stuff to slow them down from being able to synchro summon, like using Summon Limit, Grand Horn, Some Strike, these cards would be good to be used against them to negate the summonings. Some Strike can negate effects, so you can, even after they're already single summon, you can use Some Strike against them. Something I like to say a lot is any problem you have, you can solve it with Some Strike, you know. So Some Strike is your typical way of beating these decks. You can stall for a bit until you get your outs, so that's what red screen's for, to defend you. And then, since they're monsters, obviously you can use stuff that can destroy them, like Regeki Dark Hole. Wing Blast is a decent card. Generic, it can be used against any card, but if you use it against Benki, for example, or any of the monsters, like for example Super Heavy Samurai Blue Brawler that can't be destroyed by battle, you can use Wing Blast on them to send them back to the top of your opponent's deck, and any of the other Super Heavy Samurais that you equip to them will go to the graveyard, so you'll be able to clear the board for a turn. And since they'll be drawing these monsters again, that will give you another turn where you can try to, take them down and deal them damage. So that's the strategy you want to go with. But because they do have Soulfire Suit, which can make it where it can't be destroyed, the Super Heavy Samurai can't be destroyed by battle or card effect, you want to use cards that don't destroy, like Wing Blast. You can Kaiju, you can Santa Claus, any of those monsters if they're being protected by Soulfire Suit. Since while these are equipped to the monsters, they'll be in your opponent's spell and trap zone, you can MST them, Twin Twister them, so that way they don't give their abilities to those monsters. For example, Samurai Soul Claw makes it where the monster gets 500 attack and defense, but also can't be destroyed by battle. And let's say you're trying to destroy him by battle, obviously if you MST this, then you can go and attack and destroy the Super Heavy Samurai by battle. But let's say, even if you MST this and you attack the monster in defense mode, they might have this in their hand, have Soul Buster. If they use Soul Buster, they'll double the defense of their Super Heavy, and you'll just run into a big wall. So that's something to take into account. Gotta take that into account. Like, what if they have that? You might not want to attack with something that is weak. You might want to attack something really strong. Or you might want to be able to prevent that from happening, like, negate that, or prevent it from being able to be activated, like using Utopia the Lightning. You can use his ability to make him 5,000, which should be more than enough to run over any of these Super Heavy Samurais with the big defense, but also prevent the activation of this card, Soul Buster, so that way the defense doesn't go higher. So using Utopia the Lightning would be useful. Since a lot of these monsters have low attacks, and they normal in this deck normals and specials, you can use King Tiger Wangu. He's generic enough. He's a good little 1700 beat stick. You can splash it in any deck. and it has a decent effect. Destroy all monsters with attack equal to 1400 or less, that is normal or special summon. So you can use this against any deck, but you could definitely use it against this deck. Like I said, this deck specials, synchros and stuff, as well as normal summon or sets. So you can use Falls of Diana to deal with any of special summoning monsters, or just prevent them from special summoning, period. That will slow them down enough to make it easier for you to beat them. That's the goal. It's not a flat out to something. Sometimes just slowing somebody down is enough, because you're slowing them down from being able to get to the point where it'll be hard for you to beat them, or hard for you to deal with them. So you slow them down so it'll be easier for you to beat them. Because if you let them do everything, let them summon as much as they want and bring out their boss monster or something, then you're gonna have a problem, because they brought out their boss monster. And if you don't have an out for the boss monster, well, your chances of winning are slim. You can use Sky Cavalry if you have a deck that can make rank 2s. This card cannot be destroyed as resolve battle if it has materials attached to it. If this card battles an opponent's monster and that monster is still there, at the end of the damage step, you can detach material from this card and return that monster to the hand. So you want to, get the monsters, the super heavies, off the field. Since they don't play spells and traps, you don't have to worry about, if you after you get rid of their monsters, you gotta deal with their spells and traps, their back row. If they don't have any, so you just get rid of the monster for at least for a turn, and just go in for damage and just attack them directly. There is a super heavy that when they take damage can special summon and protect them, so it's kind of like a battle fader or gores, whichever way you want to look at it. But if they got it, they got it. If they don't got it, then you'll just be attacking them directly, because typically super heavies focus on trying not to leave the field. The idea is to keep the monsters on the field and use them and protect them. So if you manage to get rid of it, they're pretty much vulnerable if you get rid of their monsters. Sky Blaster does target but doesn't destroy, so this would be useful in a scenario where you can't destroy your opponent's super heavy samurai monster, so you can just spin it right back into the deck, right? Get it off the field. Also, you can use its other ability if you want instead and put that monster face down. While it's face down, it doesn't have its protections, its abilities. Anything that's equipped to it will get sent to the graveyard. So then you can play something like Dark Hole, or Regeki. Diamond Dire can be used to destroy super heavy samurais. In case the super heavy samurai can't be destroyed by battle, well, you could destroy it by this effect. Catastor. Since all the super heavies are earth, you can use Catastor to beat them. It'll destroy them, since it destroys them by card effect, not by battle. So this would be a good generic out to them. Black Rose, just get rid of everything, right? Get rid of all the problems. So there's a solution there, and it's generic. Since this is defense deck and it's all about them being in defense mode, you can use Red Dragon Archfiend, which is also generic to summon, and it when it after damage calculation, when this card attacks a defense position monster your opponent controls, destroy all defense position monsters your opponent controls. That includes the monster you attacked. So let's say you attacked your opponent's blue brawler, which can't be destroyed by battle, but Red Dragon Archfiend will still apply its effect to destroy it by card effect. And that's the end of the video.